Short form video has become the fastest and most effective way to build your brand and your business online. Why? Because you can reach millions of people every single year, many being your potential customers. And at any point, one of your videos can take off and go viral, which could potentially change the trajectory of your online brand and business. And on top of all of it, they're relatively easy to create and distribute across all the major platforms. Now here's the problem. Most people and companies haven't figured out how to create compelling short form video content that actually performs. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my G.E.M.S framework, which is the secret to high performing video content. Let's get into it. So first, let me cover the basics of short form video, and then we're going to work our way into the more advanced and tactical stuff. And by basic, I mean, what do you need in terms of equipment just to actually make the videos? And to be honest, if you want to make high performing short form video content, you have to invest in this piece of equipment. It's a camera called the T2000 AB450 double lens power. Just kidding, guys. You need your smartphone. That's literally it. Now, could you use a DSLR? Sure you could. But do you need to? Absolutely not. 80% of my short form vertical videos are made with my iPhone, because nowadays these smartphones, they have such good cameras built into the actual phone that you don't really need anything else. Now, the one thing you probably do want to pick up is a simple tripod, but you can get that for $20, $30 on Amazon. The one thing the smartphones don't have that you probably would want to invest in day one is a quality mic. There's things like the Comica, the Movo, Rode mics. I would just make sure that you get one that hooks into the bottom of your smartphone, whether that's an iPhone or a Droid, because then you can just plug it in, hook on your receiver, throw your lapel mic on, and you're in business. It's incredibly simple. And if you're sitting there wondering like, what equipment should I get and where would I find, where would I buy it? I created a whole video on this right here. It's video equipment for beginners. I even list out the links and where to buy it and all that good stuff. So if that's you right now, maybe pause this video, go check out that video, and then come right back here. Let's talk about length of the video. Before you start recording your short form videos, I would definitely check with the platform you're going to be posting and distributing your content on, because some platforms do have a time limit. But I think the sweet spot for short form videos in most cases is 20 seconds to 60 seconds. Pretty much all platforms allow you to go up to 60 seconds. I also just think it's easier when you're new to creating short form videos that you don't try to overdo it and create 2-3 minute video, because at that point you're kind of getting into the medium form content. But I will say this, some of my best performing short form videos have been 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, even 2.5 minutes. And I'm talking about TikTok and LinkedIn. So don't put yourself in a bucket and say, oh, it's short form video, I got to create this 7-second super entertaining video. Absolutely not. Don't even think you got to cram it into 20 or 30 seconds. Take a minute, take 1.5 minutes. That's okay. It's less about the time and it's more about the message and the delivery and how you hooked the audience in, which we're going to get to here in a second. All right, let's get to the type of content, because you might be watching this thinking, all right, but what type of content should I be creating that's short form video? Like what works and what doesn't work? And should I be talking about this or that? Or most people really don't know where to start. So the first thing I want you to think about is this. Most short form videos are going in feed-based platforms, meaning that in most cases, people aren't searching for that particular video that you're going to be creating and posting. Now, sometimes they are, because short form video is becoming a little bit more SEO based, especially with TikTok and YouTube Shorts. But in a lot of cases, they're going through the feed. And when they land on a piece of content the same way you do, you have a couple seconds to determine, is this something I want to continue to keep watching? Is it valuable? Is it edutaining, entertaining, motivating, inspiring? Am I just intrigued by the video? And if the answer is yes, they're going to continue to watch the video, which of course increases your watch time, your retention rate, all that good stuff. But if they weren't pulled in by the video and it wasn't something intriguing or valuable to them, then of course they're going to move on and scroll right past and go to the next piece of content. So keep that mentality in mind as you're creating these videos. It's really important. I see a lot of people repost, podcast clips or just create original pieces of content, and they spend the first couple seconds introducing themselves or talking about something that we don't even know what the hell it's about. That's not going to work in a feed-based platform. You don't have that kind of time. You got to reach people right away and intrigue them and then get them to stay throughout the video. But in terms of the type of content, you definitely can do educational videos, inspirational, motivational videos, entertainment videos, and my favorite, edutainment videos, where you combine education with entertainment. That's hands down some of the highest performing video content across all channels, because you're actually teaching and giving the audience some form of value, but you're also entertaining them and keeping them kind of engaged as you go through it. it. Think about a dynamic speaker on stage, right? They're making the audience laugh occasionally. They're making them think, they're making them smile. They're using their hands, they're being animated. There's a lot of ways to translate that into short form video content. Now, people ask me all the time, should I be creating original content from scratch, like pulling out my phone and recording videos? Or is it okay for me to use repurposed clips that may become from a podcast or a long form video? My answer is always do both. But when you're starting off on a new platform, you definitely want to be creating original content from scratch because you can be more creative, you can be more punchy with the hooks, you can switch up the delivery, the scenery, all types of different stuff. Plus, you want to build the skill of becoming a better short form video creator anyways. I want to mention the number one mistake that people make with short form videos is they think they either got to go overly entertaining and just start doing random stuff to get attention that really has no meaning and doesn't tie back into their business or their brand, or they go the complete opposite and all they do is talking heads, educational content, and it's just kind of boring. So my thing is fuse these two. So here's a couple examples. Instead of just talking about a couple key points that you want to educate your customers or audience on, show them the behind the scenes, pull the curtain back, give them a little bit of a day in the life. That way it's entertaining and you're showcasing how you're unique or what you guys do that's unique, but you're also teaching and inspiring along the way. Use storytelling. Instead of talking about how to get a result, tell a story about how you got the result or a client success story. Don't just tell people, you got to show people with short form video content. And I think content in general. I'd also mix in some skit videos there too. Like act some stuff out, have some fun with it. This is the stuff that performs. If all you're doing is here's 3 tips on how to do this, here's 3 tips on how to do this, it's just never going to perform. And even if you're doing a lot of those videos, which are fine to do, mix in how you come into the camera or your angle or your scenery or your delivery. There's a ton of ways to, again, make it more engaging. So all of that content works. And remember the relationship between long form video and short form video. Short form video should help bring people to your long form video. Example, I post a YouTube short, a clip from the podcast. They enjoy the clip, they get value out of it, and then where do they go? Boom, they go to the long form. How many times have you yourself done this? Think about the people that you follow on social media. You probably discovered them because you saw a clip or some type of piece of content or a video from them. And then you're like, who is this person? Oh, this is a podcast. Oh, they've got long form video. Oh crap, they've got 50 episodes that I haven't even checked out yet. They've got a YouTube channel where they go in depth on this stuff. Let me check out that. Let me get subscribed to that. So the short form literally brings people to the long form. All right, so let's move to editing because I get asked this question all the time. How should I edit my short form videos? And what are some of the tactical things that you can do to help the video perform better? And I got to say this about video editing to start. No amount of video editing is going to fix a bad message. So the message always comes first. It's what you say and it's how you say it. If your message is crap or your delivery is crap, but then you try to add in all this cool editing and graphics and emojis and text, all you're doing is putting crap in a nice box with a ribbon on it. You might fool somebody for a second, but as soon as they open the box, they're gonna be like, what the heck is this? Now on the flip side, if you've got a good message and a good delivery, well then video editing can enhance your message and yes, help the performance of the video. Because what most people don't know about short form videos is that a lot of the best creators, they change something in the scene every 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. It could be a zoom in, zoom out. It could be a graphic or an animation that pops up. It could be text or some B-roll. Something changes and you'll notice that now when you start to watch these videos, you'll be like, oh, I see it now. You may not even have noticed it before because it's so subconscious. But because it's short form video and people got a lot of options, they can watch a lot of different things now, that helps keep the viewer engaged. So I wouldn't go overboard with the gimmicky stuff. You don't need a bunch of emojis and crazy stuff in there. For us, we like adding things that really help bring the story or the message to life. And by the way, there's plenty of videos that I've done that just basically had auto captions, but the message and the creative was so good, or it was an edutainment style video or a good story that I reeled the audience in, and it still performed amazingly well. So again, the message is first, the delivery, and then everything else comes secondary. All right, thanks for making it this far. And to reward you, I'm going to share with you my G.E.M.S framework, which is the secret to high performing video content. This is a framework I developed from working with hundreds of clients in a ton of different industries and styles and personalities. And after posting myself over 1,000 videos, I learned the commonalities. I learned there were certain things we needed to do to give a video a better chance of performing. And we put it all into this G.E.M.S framework. So let's get into it. So it's an acronym and the G stands for get clear on your message and your audience. I want you to think about who are you trying to impact with this message? What is the impact that you want to make? And how can you best make that impact? I know this seems kind of simple, but I review a lot of videos and I'm telling you, I watch so many videos back and go, who is this message for? Who is this video for? Did you think it was going to be cute or fun or entertaining, or maybe it was something that you wanted to get off your chest, but was it relevant and interesting and intriguing to your customer, to your audience? Is it going to shift their perspective? Are you changing the way that they think about things? So you got to know your customer well, but this forces you to, before you record the video, to get in that mindset of, wait, who am I creating this for? And what impact am I trying to have? And what's the best way I can make that impact? Is it an educational video? Should I deliver it this way? Would it be an edutainment video? Do we need to put in some editing to help bring the story to life? What would make this work best? The E stands for engage your audience with a strong hook. If you don't hook your audience in the first second or two, it doesn't matter what you say after that because they're gone. They're moving on to the next video, the next piece of content. I'm gonna give you 3 video hooks that work in any industry and in any type of video that you're gonna create. The first is the bold opinion or statement. Here, you're just gonna come out in the first few seconds and you're gonna say something that goes against popular belief, that goes against the grain. Maybe it's debunking a myth, or your take on something is different than what the industry thinks. And you should have this anyways. If you're developing a content strategy, you've got to have a unique perspective. But when you lead with that, it gets people to go, whoa, I haven't heard that before. Or that's an interesting take. Where is he or she going with this? The second hook is the compelling story. Your story starts here, so they get introduced to the story. But they know there's an ending that's here. Now, all of a sudden in the middle here is the curiosity. Whoa, they said there, this happened first, and then this has happened, and then, but what happens at the end? How does this story end? I got to stay to figure out how this plays out. That's the compelling story hook. What's cool about short form is you can do that from vlog style videos. You can tell the story. You can use audio mixed with video. There's so many different ways you can do it. And the third hook is the value tease. That's simply where I state the value that the viewer is going to get in the first couple seconds. So I may say something like, this is how you convert LinkedIn video content into customers. Bought in right away. I know the value. I'm sticking around if it's relevant. So now we've got the message. We know our audience. We're clear on that. We've got the right mentality coming in. We've got our 1-sentence hook that we're going to lead with. I'd write this down in your notes app. Now we just need to map out our key points, the 2 to 3 to 4 things that we want to make sure that we cover in the video. Otherwise, you end up recording a video and then you go back and you're like, oh, I didn't even mention that one part and I needed to mention that. Otherwise, the rest isn't even relevant. You don't want to miss something critical, but you also don't need to script out your entire video, which is why I recommend you map out your key points. Takes a few seconds and it saved you a lot of time on the back end. And lastly, the S is for sum up your message. This could be a couple sentences to drive home a key point. It could be the end of the compelling story, or in some cases, it could be a call to action. Keep it simple here and don't overthink it. And like I say with everything, don't just listen to what I say, watch what I do. Go check out my video content, specifically the short form. Watch how I live what I talk about here. And before you go, if you got value from this video, it would mean a lot to us if you did subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We'll see you next time.